Does that mean it's our time to talk?
I think it is.
All right, well that's good news, I think. Welcome everybody to Kickstarting IGA. We're all really excited to get to the panel portion of our panel. But first I would like to introduce the main attractions here. So here are your panelists. We've got Inti Creates President Takuya Aizu. Yeah, round of applause.
So I have one quick thing to ask.
Yes.
How many of you were here at the Mighty Number 9 panel? And this is the second time you're seeing this guy. Thank you. I've always wondered that, how much the cross-collaboration is going on.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I didn't even need to introduce him. But all right, next up, we have got DDM agent, Japanese English interpreter, and noted voice actor, Ben Judd.
For any of you that saw the launch video, I was also the leg model.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that about me, but a really nice pair of legs.
Tortured extra, Ben Judd. All right, then the moment you've all been waiting for. Please, if you would stand for a moment. Yes, the man himself, Bloodstained creator, vampire hunter, Koji Igarashi.
So, I don't know if you just saw it, but he was waving around his whip, and there are some rumors here today that he may put on a whip exhibition for you guys. If you're,
yes.
If you're good, or maybe if you're bad. So.
Yes, if we get through this entire panel without anyone at PAX confiscating IGA's weapons, that could just happen. And then finally, Fangamer copywriter and PowerPoint novice, me, Dan Moore.
All right, Dan!
Thank you. But, we had IGA stand, and now we've had him sit, and that means it's time for all of you to cross off number 1 on your IGA achievements card. Which brings me to my next slide.
Dan, what are IGA achievement cards?
Thank you, Ben. Now, before we get started, you guys unlocked a ton of achievements for us over the course of the campaign.
You guys!
Yeah. Provided that you unlocked achievements. If you didn't, feel free to take credit. I don't think anyone can tell the difference. But so you guys did way more than we ever expected you would. Tonight we're going to settle the score because it seemed a little greedy for us to ask you to unlock more things over the course of our hour-long panel. So during this panel, Iga, Aizu, and Ben will be unlocking the achievements for you. Yeah, and those are Iga achievements. If you will look at the back of your lovely Koji Igarashi autograph card, Iga, Ben, or Aizu need to perform 8 of the 10 actions on this card. The trick is that you know the list, and I know the list, but they do not know the list. Aizu, you...
Aizu-san,
Oh my goodness.
Is one of the achievements Aizu cheats? Because I think that's...
Show just a moment's restraint, sir. And because this is this is an IGA affiliated event, feel free to manipulate them. Do any kind of devious thing you can to make sure that they unlock these achievements. But do not reveal the action. Well, I'm glad you asked. Achievement number 1 is Iga sits down. So everybody, cross that off.
He's like, yes, I am sitting. Yes, indeed
The
you
judges have confirmed it. So complete 8 of the 10 achievements. We will unlock a surprise for the people here in the room and a surprise for the people watching online. And the surprises are usually good, right? Maybe?
We like surprises?
Yeah, so it's basically IGA bingo. And please, if you see one that I've missed, begin clapping, do something to call my attention to it, just like you did when Aizu tried to cheat. Or hardly working. Now first though, we're going to need to talk about the campaign. We're going to do a little of the old actual panel stuff here. Now, but before that, before the campaign, Bloodstained was really just, at least so far as we at Fangamer saw it, a pitch deck with some of Iga's new ideas on it. And I was wondering, Ben, if you and Iga and Aizu could talk about where the game was before the fans saw it, some of the ideas that never came to fruition.
Yeah, that's true. So I think we're going to go into the history before we actually launched the Kickstarter, because there were several months of going around pitching to a bunch of different publishers, which none of them supported this idea, and only everyone here helped create. So thank you very much again for making this game happen. Yes.
Not that Ben's mad or anything.
Not that I'm very upset at publishers who say they know what you guys want and they don't know what you guys want.
So it's not like that. He's not mad.
I'm not mad at all. Thank you. So I'm going to ask my two esteemed guests to talk about some of the character design for Miriam and the ideas that went into that. 一応ですね、ミディアムを作った時ですね、キャラデザイン的に、おそらく見せる時のその前、もっと違うキャラデザインもあったと思いますけれども、それについてはちょっと教えていただきたいと思います。
はい、最初に考えていたのは錬金術っていうテーマだけはあったので、最初ホムンクルスにしようかとかいろいろアイディアがあったんですね。でそこで人じゃないのはやっぱり感情移入がしにくいということで、じゃあ人造人間にしようかみたいな感じになったんですよ。その人造人間というと、ちょっと人にさらに何かを加えて改造された人間にしようかと。でそれで上がってきたのが結晶がこう体を侵食していく人っていうのがあって、でそれをアイディアを、インキーさんの方に提示してキャラクターをというところをお願いしたらですね、このキャラクターデザインの方からこうステンドグラスの綺麗なやつが上がってきて、で何これどういう感じなんですかこれみたいな話になった時に、その結晶をステンドグラス化してなっていったら綺麗で、その今までの作品では出てないじゃないですかって話になって、それはいいよね。ちょうどバラの絵が描いてあって、でバラはティッシュペーパーをくるくるくるって丸めると、ね、バラになるじゃないですか。でその侵食していく結晶を何かの力で封じ込めるようにこうギュッと集めて、色がこう同じ色同士が結合すればこんな感じになるんじゃなかろうかっていうところに説得力を持たせるために、こんな感じのキャラクターが出来上がってきたという感じです。
Now Ben, if you could please, all at once.
I love these passionate creators when they're just like talking and talking and talking and talking. The good news is I've done this for a living, so I think I got all the key points. When they were initially coming up with Miriam as a main character, the idea was that potentially she may be like a Frankenstein, like not really a living character, but maybe one that was composed of flesh, dead flesh or clay, or something that was then imbued with life, maybe through some sort of a ceremony. And then it bumped over to the idea of maybe she is some sort of a doll or artificially created character that then again is fused with life. But when going through the different thought processes, they're like, we really need to make a human connection, an emotional connection with the main character of Miriam. And any of these previous ideas made her just feel a little bit too soulless. So that's when they decided to go an actual human being route, but came up with the idea of having this sort of curse, this crystal curse that was slowly uncovering her whole body and kind of stealing her humanity from her. And when taking this idea over to one of the lead artists, a man named Natsume-san, I don't know the art that you see right now is created by him. Hand of applause for Natsume-san if you like the art here. That's right. Okay, enough or you're going to get whipped. Thank you. That's right. We're saucy. This is a very saucy. This is Saturday night. You guys are spending your Saturday night here. We got to get a little bit saucy. So Natsume-san said, listen, if it's going to be crystals, when I think of crystals, they can be beautiful in certain patterns. And then what came to mind was the idea of stained glass. And so he brought the idea of stained glass crystal designs covering the main character's body, to which Iga-san was like, wow, that's amazing. And as a matter of fact, I can confirm he really does love stained glass. Every single time I've been with him and walked by a stained glass window, he's like, did you know the red stained glass is very expensive and like 20 times, costs 20 times more to produce than other stained glass colors? And I'm just like, well, no, I didn't, but thank you very much. はい、そうですね。で、一応、 その後、キャラデザインもちょっと露出度を、下げるという話ありましたね。
最初はもっと露出度が高かったんですよ。出ている部分のその結晶の部分をなるべく露出するようにという思いと、スカート短い方がいいじゃないかとか、いろいろそういうね、もっと肌が出てた方が、ね、いいじゃないですかっていうのがあって、そういうデザインだったんですけど、タフさが足りないと、主人公にするには。やっぱりちょっとそのキックスターターをこうやるにあたって、こうユーザーはタフさを求めているんだっていうのがありまして、どんどん露出度が減っていきましたよね。
そうですね。日本人好みからちょっとずつ変わっていった感じですね。
はい、はい。So the other thing that happened is initially her design had like a shorter skirt, shorter costume, a little more sexy, if you will. And the idea was not necessarily to just make it sexy, but the fact that showing off more of her crystallized skin would show the fact that she was less human and that this curse really had affected her to a larger degree. But as they began to build it out, they were thinking, we don't want to place too much emphasis on sexy and sacrifice the fact that she's a tough character. We need to make her tough. We need to show off that it's not about showing off skin, but it's about showing her kicking a whole bunch of demons' butts. That's right. We like demon butt kicking female leads, right? Is that right? Okay.
As a rule, yes.
As a rule, as a general rule. So that was the basic thought process behind it. And her costume got a little bit longer, which is fine. But now she kicks twice as much butt. So there you have it.
So I guess the thing that changed the most, at least from the first time Fangamers saw some of the early work on the game, was that the addition of the castle. The first version of Bloodstained that we saw had a bit of a globe-trotting aspect to it. Does he want to talk about that a little?
A globe-trot, like she could play basketball?
Yes, a Harlem globe-trotting aspect to
okay,
it.
sorry, you're right, it's the Harlem Globetrotters. 最初ね、企画書を見せた時ですね、世界っていうのはやっぱりいろんな国回るっていうようなネタだったと思いますけれども、それいつの間にか白になりました、ですね。それについて語っていただけますか。
最初の企画書はいろんな国を回ってそこを探索するっていう内容だったんですね。これは何のためにそうなってたかというとですね、パブリッシャーさんからのですね、強い要望があったからなんですね。で、強い要望があって、それに応えるために、ちゃんと売り込んで、ちゃんとお金をゲットするためには、それに入れようって言って、ちゃんと考えたんですけど、最終的にキックスターターでお金を集めるっていうことになったら、パブリッシャーもういいかなと思って、それだったら、じゃあ、僕のファンはどんなゲームを求めてるのかなってなった時に、誰もが一様に白って言うんですよ。だったら白にしようかなと。もうね、別にパブリッシャーのために作るわけではないので、お客さんのために作る、バッカーの皆さんだったり、ユーザーの皆さんに作るので、白になりました。
Yeah, so one of the interesting things that came up, and that does come up with some crowdfunding sourced games, is that initially the idea was that you would be a character that went around the world to different countries. And there would be certain monsters that would be associated with those countries, whether it's Transylvania, vampires, or mummies in Egypt, et cetera, et cetera. But to be honest, some of that design was based around the fact that potentially you could add new stages in the future, DLC, et cetera. DLC is a very publisher-driven monetization model, right? It's to make more money off of the game. And while it's always nice, it is a business, that's a reality. The true fans, they don't really care about that. They just want to play an awesome game. And by it going to Kickstarter and him being able to fund it that way, it became more about, hey, it's not about what does a publisher want. It's about what do the fans want. And the fans, while they may like to go to a bunch of different countries and fight a bunch of different monsters, they want a castle. And so at that point, it changed to a castle.
Yeah, you can applaud for castles. That's allowed.
That's right. I like this panel. There's a lot more clapping that's going on. We were trying to offer free stuff in the Mighty Number 9 panel, and they're just like every once in a while clapping. But this is a good panel. I think there's some shills from Fan Gamer over there. Yeah.
Well, it's good because otherwise people would just clap after Iga was,
Talking. And
yeah,
yes.
yeah. I mean, we
Not
need some clapping after the English is done too. So I guess from there it was building the team. This is really the kind of thing that Kickstarter has almost made the developer's business in a way that it wasn't before. A publisher is kind of a team in itself, but once this came to Kickstarter, well, I guess that's where you come in, Ben.
That's right. So I'm going to ask the question about how this all got started, because I told you we were going to go into the history. It wasn't just, hey, let's do a Kickstarter and hope everything works out. There was a long period which first involved Igarashi-san leaving Konami. He left them, they didn't leave him. That's right. That's right. ちょっとコナミさんも、辞めてですね、自ら辞めて、その後いろんなパブリッシャーさんも回って、で結局キックスターターでやるっていう話について語っていただきたいんですけれども。
はい、自ら辞めたって言ってますけど、僕が辞めるきっかけになったのはここの横にいるこの人が、いやいや違います違いますです。
So yes, he was going to say, well, we're talking about how I just up and left Konami and it's all on me, but he's like, actually it's the guy sitting next to me that kind of got me to leave. And I'm, Dan, no, not Dan.
Judges? It looks like that qualifies for number 8. Iga is endearingly humble.
ちょっと実績は解消されましたね、これで。
Tissue, Iga, can you please say tissue paper again?
さっきのバラのような。
言いましたよ。
はい。もう一回言ってください。
ティッシュペーパーを丸めると。
It looks like you were right. That's 3 out of 10.
I don't know if this really, that is like super coercion. You're just like, say it again.
Well, see, I just wanted to confirm that it happened.
Just read down, Iga, do this. Iga, do this. We'll get through this game real quick.
I mean, that's the thing you really have to know about Iga is that he's a very, I don't want to say pliable, but he's very flexible. So I guess if he's passed the credit off to you, like what is he giving credit for? Giving you credit for?
Just go through some of the history. It was October 2013. I was at a party in Tokyo. That's right before Tokyo Game Show, run by the fine folks at 8-4. They were the guys that. That's right. Credit where it's due. They're the guys that helped out on the Mighty No. 9 Kickstarter, make that a big success. And I bumped into Iga, and I said, you know what? We just did this thing with Mighty No. 9, and I want to play a Castlevania game in 2D, and I'm not seeing it. So if Konami is not letting you do it, I can help you. I'm an agent. I know some people. We'll do the whole channel. We'll make it work. And that was where the conversation got started. He started to seriously think about it, and we put together a pitch and started to go around to a bunch of publishers. I'll let him answer the next piece. 一応ですね、企画書を作ってですね、パブリッシャー様は回りましたよね。
はいはい、回りました。
で、どんな感じでしたでしょうか、その時。
ですね、プレゼンをした時にはみんな、お、いいね、これぜひともやりたいよっていう必ず言うんですけど、持ち帰って検討させてくださいになって、持ち帰って検討するとですね、大抵2週間以上待たされて、どうなりましたかねあれって聞くと、残念ながらっていう感じだったんですよね。だからなんだろう、じゃあダメだったらその場で言えよとかっていう感じだったんですけど、結局その欲しいは欲しいんだけれども開発費がちょっと高いよねっていうのが一番あって、なかなかゴーサインが出なかったっていうのが、もうあれはどのぐらいですかね、1年近く続いたんですかね。
はい。
ですよね。
Yeah, so this is a reality that all independent developers have to go through, which is you need funding to make your game. A lot of times it's 20-person teams. So he had a pitch, and one look at it, and you'd know if you were a fan that this would be a pretty awesome Igavania game. We did the whole circuit. We talked to every single publisher, literally every one that you can think of. And they passed for a wide variety of different reasons, but he was saying the most frustrating part is you go in and you hope. You've got your deck, like, we really hope you like this game, And every single one of them, they were very positive. They're like, oh, this is cool. We know you. Obviously, there's people that want this sort of game. It would take about 2 weeks for them to get back to him, and then they'd invariably say, we had to pass. And that went around for about a year. And it's very important, I'm going to add a quick aside, that Iga, he is a married man. He does have a family. In Japan, leaving your career-long job, jumping ship to believe in something like this is a huge deal. It's absolutely huge when you have a family. And he did this, worked the process, went to all the publishers, hoped and hoped that it would work out. And still, we were met with constantly closed doors. So, we had to enact Plan B.
で、結局、うまくいかなかったので、キックスターターやろうっていう話になりましたよね。そうですよね。出してはくれるんだけれども、そのキックスターターで市場性証明してくれないとねって話になったんで、ただところがその時のキックスターターってすごい状況があんまり良くなかったじゃないですか。だったんで、僕は結構ドキドキもんだったんですけど、今だったらやってよかったなと思います。
Yeah, and so that meant that he would go the Kickstarter approach, and he's been very clear, he doesn't hold any grudges. Big publishers, they're in it to make money. They want to do the $60 million, $100 million games, $1 million games. They want to shoot for mass market, whereas this is a title that is usually rabidly, passionately loved by a smaller fan base. But Kickstarter began to make a lot of sense because it meant that a smaller group of people were spending more money on that product. They were going to support it for $100, $150, etc. They believed in the product. And he goes and says that with Kickstarter, it made a lot of sense for what he was trying to do, but he was concerned because I don't know if any of us here remember, before the ukulele Kickstarter, there were not a lot of big Kickstarters in 2014 that made over $1 million. There may have been one, if that. Compared to 2013, there was a lot of big ones. So he was very reasonably afraid that if he went the Kickstarter route and put the idea out there and it wasn't supported, that would be it. You would not have an Igavania Castlevania. That would have been the reality. Thank you.
So yeah, we've got on there finding the right specialists and then trusting them, and I guess that's my seg to the next slide, because you guys may be surprised to learn this, but I was not brought onto this project to host panels, or for my skill in that at least. I was brought on it as a part of Fangamer, and what we've done for a while is create cool merchandise and then ship it to people. That's the really, really short elevator pitch for Fangamer. But this time Ben assigned us a little more than usual. We took the biggest role we ever had to date in building the campaign itself. And Ben, I know you're interested in talking about this because there's just so much variance in any given Kickstarter campaign, even in Kickstarter campaigns that reach the same final totals. Like you can have a really thorough campaign, you can have a really vague campaign, you can have everything in between. So I wanted to share a few of the things that we learned at Fangamer, if nothing else, from doing this. And the first one was try weird things and then don't get too attached to them. If you guys were a part of the Kickstarter, you probably saw like the champion weird things that we tried. But before all of those weird things could get to you, there was this weird, terrible, like Darwinist fight between all of them, where only the strongest weird ideas survived. And Ben was a big help in that because he had no compunctions about tearing a bad, weird idea down to size and telling us to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that time where you said you would come out with 2 whips and you would like be Iga's bodyguard and things like that. Yeah, I put that idea like on hold permanently.
Well, in my defense, that was when it was going to be a full motion video game for the Sega CD.
That idea I did not turn down.
And the other thing that we really were focused on is the things that happen in the campaign. They have a ton of roles. Like they need to get the campaign out to the broader market. They need to get the press involved. They need to get people who haven't heard Iga's name before involved. But we wanted to make sure that everything that did get to that final stage was also going to make the campaign better for the backers, which, I don't know, it seems like a really simple thing to do, and then you try doing it, and it turns out to be extremely difficult. But like Ben, when you were getting to work on this, when you were watching all of the various specialists work on their pieces, I don't know, like, what was that like for you? What was building the campaign up? What was the experience of that for Ben Judd?
So I used to be a producer at Capcom, did Bionic Commando Rearmed in the 3D Bionic Commando game, and yes.
Hey, you do anything else at Capcom?
Well, that's right. I also have a few shills in the audience.
That's good.
I think that's my brother. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. But ultimately, you learn that it's about tying the different pieces together, and you need specialists. And so a Kickstarter campaign is the same way. We had two-player production, one of the best video editing groups that also did the Mighty No. 9 Kickstarter campaign. We had them do one of the best videos ever that does, again, feature my sexy legs. We also had, of course, Fan Gamer. You guys were amazing. Everybody respects and loves your merchandise. And that's because you're fans. You guys aren't businessmen, which is a shame because you could be making a lot more money if you had an agent like me. But it's not about that. It's about you guys are the fans that love what you're creating. You put yourselves in the shoes of the fan that wants that merchandise. And then with Iga, of course, we had the man himself that knows how to make that game, has continually made it, and he is the key creator. Then we had Inti Creates. If you're going to do a 2.5D side-scrolling game or an exploratory game, they were the right team to work with Iga. And then, of course, we had other little touches for people that were going to support the campaign. But you need to have these specialists, and they need to focus on their area of expertise. So having us all together in the room when we were planning the campaign and working off of each other was perfect. There were times where you guys would have an idea and it wouldn't work because of the production pipeline. We had several ideas that were like, oh wow, as fans, we want that stretch goal. It'll be great if this exists, only to have the production side say, yes, that would be great. It will cost $5 million. And so that means, oh, stretch goals, that'll be a $10 million stretch goal. I wonder if that can happen. No. And there were some times where we'd want really cool merchandise. And you guys would say, yeah, that would be great, but that merchandise will cost us $3 million. So we had to also shelve that. So it really is all sides working together, pressing against each other to find what is the perfect space that's going to make the fans happy, that's going to work on the production side, and that's going to basically work for the campaign itself.
Yeah, and it was a shame we had to not produce that $3 million merchandise because I think people would have really loved our bloodstained golden toilet. But
diamond crusted.
Yeah,
diamond
of course. We're not animals. But the thing that really helped us out, honestly, something that we did not, we had no plans of this being as helpful to us as it was sword or whip, or starting an argument among people you like. Thank you. I had nothing really to do with it, but thanks anyway. So sword or whip, it started off basically as just 3 words, like sword or whip. We had no idea what we were going to do with it. We were in a hotel lobby. We had already stopped sleeping. We all had crazy looks in our eyes. I think I had seen my boss as like a big juicy steak at one point. And we just thought, like, here's a dividing line between, Castlevania fans. How can we use this to get people excited about what's coming and to I guess, help people to understand, like, what side they fall on. There's a ton of work, and there are lots of false starts. For a long time, we were going to try to have that poll operate inside the Kickstarter, where depending on which tier you backed, you would be either on Team Sword or Team Whip. There were figurines, and then when the figurines cost $3 million, there were plushies. And then when people weren't sure about the plushies, we said, well, what about a website? Because the one person that we hadn't imposed upon yet was Fangamer's web developer, Ryan. So he and a bunch of our friends, Carrie, who did this, Drew Wise, yeah, Carrie. Drew Wise, who did the sprite art, all kinds of people got together, basically put that website up in a weekend, and decided to use it as just a teaser rather than something that was during the campaign itself. And that turned out to be a really good idea that I wish I could take credit for, because what it helped us do is understand what the fans were going to want and how we could use that to adjust a campaign that thankfully hadn't launched yet.
Yeah, I have to admit, when we were talking about Sword of Whip as this teaser site, you know, I'm a fan, and so I was trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody that would be seeing this on the internet. And I was just like, yeah, like, really? Are people going to get excited about this? Like, just choosing between a sword and a whip? And when we launched it, and it was just like, all the websites went nuts. And it was like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm in this clan. And it's just like everything that you guys had planned went according to clockwork. And it's one of the times where I'm very happy to be wrong, that was just one of the perfect teaser sites. And to speak very quickly to one of the points that you mentioned that we didn't do on Mighty Number 9, we did on this campaign, is with that teaser site, you guys don't know this, but we were watching your reactions constantly. We were seeing what you liked, what you didn't like, what you wanted the game to be, because you had no idea. You just saw a pixel, an 8-bit pixel website. It could have been anything. It could have been a live-action Sega CD game, for all you know. With
Maybe
Iga,
someday.
with Iga sitting on a golden toilet. You know? But ultimately, we got a lot of pre-intel, and we then knew what to message. We then knew, oh, they want this sort of game. And believe it or not, we were organically planning, again, day in and day out with the production team. We'd see keywords of like, oh, I want it to have 2 characters, or hey, I want it to have boss rush mode or something. We'd take that, talk with the production side, and clear it, but we'd have to build it in the campaign. So it was real-time, day in and day out reaction based on seeing that feedback.
Yeah, it really came down to the wire, and it was good because, you know, you'd rather make those changes before the campaign launches than like 3 days after it launches, when everyone's looking up your address and trying to figure out why you disappointed them. We were all in San Francisco for the Twitch launch. I remember being in a room with the rest of Fangamer at 5 in the morning, proofreading text. Turns out 5 a.m. is a really bad time to proofread text, but only time we had. And then we launched, and obviously things went better than we'd hoped. If you can't see what's on Miriam's cake there, that is one of 30 images that Inti Creates put together, depending for every possible day the campaign would have funded. And this is, actually, that's number 10. Aizu works too hard. Sorry, guys. So just really, we had no idea what was going to happen. We were fully prepared to use that June 11th initial goal thing and try to make the same sad smile that Miriam is making there. But you guys were incredible, and it funded by noon.
It's one of those, I'm going to ask for a comment from Iga and Aizu-san, but it's one of those, you go in, you really are freaking out. You're like, is this really going to work out? You're afraid. You pull the trigger and you're off and running, or you're not. And so when we did, and the money just started going in and going up and getting closer and closer, that was a fantastic feeling. Initially.
Yeah, it was a fantastic feeling for as long as we allowed it to be a fantastic feeling.
Let's go to the next slide.
So this is, in case you want to see how surprised we were, this is the bets we made for where the Kickstarter would end up against reality.
Wait, now your bet is not on here, or is it?
My bet is not on here because I play by the Price is Right rules. I always bid $1.
Needless to say, the person who lost the most is Dan.
But yeah, that's Iga right there at 800,000. Let's see, Aizu is just ahead of him. I see you there, Ben. What was your bet there?
I wanted to say 2.1, and I was trying to be a little bit cautious, but wow.
Yeah.
Not six.
It turns out we're all terrible at this, in a good way.
So let me very quickly get a comment. 一応ですね、さっきのね、ズーはですね、みんなが、ローンチする前にですね、ちょっと掛け事をしてて、どれぐらい集まるかっていう話だったけれども、 ちょっと一人ずつコメントをいただきたいんですけれども、まず会津さんから。
見事に外れましたね。まあ嬉しいんですけど外れて。実際さっき五十嵐さんもお話ししましたけども、キックスターターが厳しいタイミングだったんで、もう結構我々とまあ五十嵐さんもおっしゃってたんですけど、そんなすごい額にはならないだろうということで額をちょっと出したんですけど、五十嵐さんの次に少ないですよ、みんなの中で下から2番目ですって言われて、えって思いましたね。
はいはい。So yes, he's like, I was way off with my $1 million guess. And when the numbers came in, we were just doing it for fun. And I found out that I was third from the bottom as far as the guesses. I could not believe it that everybody had so much faith because, again, as Igarashi-san said, it was a time when Kickstarters were just not successful at all. So to raise something of that number was very shocking. I'm going to ask a follow-up question to this. People don't realize this, but Indie Creates, who is doing the brunt of the development, they took it on the chin. They put a lot of time and money and effort up front, hoping that this would work out. But it's not just about money, it's more importantly about time, and the sheer amount of hard work that they put on this was ridiculous. We're going to go in, I think, after this and talk about just exactly how much hard work they put in, but you'll see it was a lot of hours that they put in to make this work.
Yeah, you'll also see how a lot of that work was my fault. But I guess what we're missing from that discussion of the first day is the end of the first day, and this is probably the only thing I remember from that first day because I was pretty out of it. We were all incredibly excited. The stream had gone great. Everybody involved had just been amazing. We all had a ton of fun, and then we gave ourselves about 20 minutes to celebrate that because you guys had gone through all of our stretch goals. And it turns out that it's really easy to see a stretch goal once it's done, and it's easy if you're a fan gamer to add a stretch goal to a list. It's very difficult to get all of the people involved in a game to agree that something is feasible. So we had a frantic meeting at the hotel in San Francisco right after the launch where we decided to figure out which of the crazy pie-in-the-sky ideas we had been talking about in our marathon meetings before this were actually plausible because we had about 6 hours to make announcements about them.
So yeah, I want to talk again to Iga because I remember as he was doing this, falling asleep in the meeting because honestly, we only had 2 hours of sleep per person when we launched the campaign. But trying to find what the solution set was, and we could only plan out for an extra 2 or 3 stretch goals in that time. 伊賀様はですね、やっぱり$80万っていうところに決めたと思うんですけれども、全然それも見事に外れてですね、でだんだんお金が入ってきて、で確かにその Twitch のストリームが終わった後、20分ぐらいは祝い会話してたんですけれども、それですぐホテルのミーティングベイに入ってですね、また次のストレッチをどうしようかっていう話になりましたよね。その時、ほぼみんな寝てないと思うんですけれども、どんな気持ちでしたでしょうか。
まず実感がなかったですよね。まずね、あっという間に超えたっていうのもあって、なかなか実感が湧いてこなかったんですけど、そのストレッチゴールの話をしてる時が一番実感が湧いてて、これ決めなきゃいけないんだよね、今のうち決めないと次困っちゃうんだよねとかっていうのがあって、その時になんか初めて実感が湧いて、大変なことになってるなっていう感じでしたね。
So yeah, when we were in that room together, up until that point, just the money came in so quickly, and we did, as you said, blew away all our stretch goals that it didn't even seem real. It seemed like it was a dream. And then it was only then when we got into the room and started talking about, you know what, we need to come up with some very realistic stretch goals that fit the budget that we're dealing with now, that he was like, wow, we raised this much money, and now we have to start making more promises to more content. We can't just stop here. We have to keep on going. Oh, wow. So it finally hit him.
Yeah, and so yeah, Iga fans have been waiting patiently and in much larger numbers than we had known. And we wanted to reward the patience with really timely updates. We wanted to make sure people knew that development was for everything, for the campaign, for the game, was constantly ongoing. And so what we did is we worked Inti Creates until their fingers bled. And if you see that spreadsheet there, I actually couldn't fit all of it in my screen grab. But this is a spreadsheet we made for Inti, listing all of the assets we at Fangamer wanted for each update from the beginning of the campaign to the end of it. And we translated it into Japanese, we handed it to them, and we said, sorry about everything.
Yeah, I asked Aizu-san about this, about when he got this spreadsheet, and it was just like weapons and backgrounds and enemies and characters. This is a lot of stuff conceptually to cram together within a very short amount of time. And it had to come from one key art lead, Natsume-san again. And I asked him what he remembers about those initial days. 最初いろんな操作作らないといけないっていう中でですね、ちょっと夏目さんはちょっと、奇妙なちょっと特別な動きはあったと思うんですけれども、それについて語っていただきたいと思います。
そうですね、ちょうど日本にはゴールデンウィークっていうのがあってですね、そのゴールデンウィークがちょうどキャンペーンの前だったんですね。で会社はもうお休みでみんな休んでる。その中夏目だけは全てのホリデーを返上してずーっと会社に泊まって、夏目から来るメールは朝5時でも10時にはもう会社にいるから4時間ぐらいしか寝てない。それをずっと2週間ぐらい夏目は続けて、絵を描いてくれました。
So there's a key vacation time that most Japanese people take called Golden Week. It happens at the beginning of May. It's one of the better times weather-wise to be in Japan. Everyone takes vacation during this time. Everyone. Natsume, the lead artist, did not take vacation.
I feel so terrible.
He had a Kickstarter campaign to create a lot of art, largely because Fangamer had this beautiful rainbow spreadsheet that they had delivered to Inti Creates. Aizu-san, of course the president of Inti Creates, recalls that during that period he would see emails come in up until 5 a.m. every day. That's a Saturday, that's a Sunday. And then when he would get in the office at 10 a.m., he would see Natsume-san at his desk drawing some more, which means that he was getting roughly about 4 hours of sleep every day for a period of 2 weeks. A period of 2 weeks that everyone was on vacation. Now imagine how that would feel.
All right, Natsume!
I don't know if that's, so we're applauding a person almost working themselves to death. Yes!
I mean, what you have to understand, Ben, is that the art was cool.
That's true.
So really,
it was very cool.
Really all worth it. Which brings us to the advice portion of our panel. There are a lot of stories about none of us sleeping for a month. Most of them are hard for us to tell now that we've slept for several months. But the advice portion, running a crowdfunding campaign, it's easy to do. One simple step, and it's just never sleep. Don't sleep until the campaign is over. Don't sleep afterwards. Don't sleep before the campaign. So there aren't easy steps if you need sleep. One of them is just start planning months before your Kickstarter starts. Like once you have the idea, once Kickstarter pops up in your brain, begin planning. You might already be too late. The corollary is to stop making weekend plans during your Kickstarter because you're going to be sending emails to Aizu-san. Something on the Fangamer side, know what you'll update with, know when you're going to update with it, and know why you're doing it. Don't send an update if you don't know why you would read it. Which just goes with respecting the backers. Build the kind of campaign that you would want to be a part of. Because then, if nobody likes it, it's just because you're weird. It's not because you're condescending to your fans. Because the fans are going to take their cues from you. Having backed a lot of Kickstarters myself, I think if the creator is really combative and defensive, the fans get really combative and defensive. Like if there's If it seems like something's going on that you don't know about, you're going to start spreading rumors because there's nothing else to do. And then help the fandom build itself. We knew that there were a ton of people out there who loved Iga's games, who wanted to be a part of a community together and just hadn't had anything to rally around. And during the campaign, we felt like our goal was to build up the fandom to where once the game came out, once it was finally ready, all of that would be in place. You know, you guys would be together, speculating, making cool fan art, doing all that stuff.
I just want to say one thing to that point, and that was we were actively talking with the fans. I was excited to talk with the fans. These are people in my tribe, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so on a daily basis, you know, we're talking, we're giving little hints. You know, I couldn't control my excitement as a fan. I was so excited that even though I was sleeping 4 hours a day, I would spend 1 hour like playing Symphony of the Night on the side because that was like motivating me. So it was just great to be a part of that. But like connecting with the fans and talking to them on a daily basis, I would do that. The man over there, Steve, that stood up and gave us the big super, stand up one more time, Steve. Show everyone your beautiful face. There you go, that's right, that's Steve. So we were working together, I mean, we were with the fans, we were one of the fans. And that's the sort of happy atmosphere that we're all excited for this game. Let's just be happy about it. And you see a lot of Kickstarter campaigns where they don't comment, where they're not talking to the fans, or where they're letting the fans get mad and tear each other apart rather than focus on the happy. And this is a happy thing, right? You're getting the game that you want. So that was what I was really happy about this campaign, just the pure community that was created, and it's a great community.
Yeah, absolutely. You can clap for yourselves if you want. You're the community.
Indeed you are right now, yes.
All right, so I don't want to cut off too much time for questions. Ben, would you like to give your future of crowdfunding speculation now? Or?
I didn't bring my hat with
Okay.
the ruby crystal in it, but so just we're going to move on eventually to a few announcements from Iga, so just bear with us just a little bit longer. And that is, for those of you who have Kickstarted or those of you who are looking into Kickstarters, make no mistake, a few things are going to happen. One, you are going to see publisher-supported Kickstarter campaigns. And I know that's people want to feel that they're the ones in control of it, but here's the thing. Kickstarter campaigns, what's good is even if it's a publisher-supported campaign, a lot of times it allows the developer or the creator to own the IP. Bloodstained is owned fully by Iga. So you guys have empowered the creator that you love. That's amazing. Publisher-supported campaigns will be good because a lot of times, rather than just throwing a whole bunch of money into a game, PRing it, launching it, hoping it sells, you'll know sooner whether it's something that people really support or not. And I think publishers, they like that. They don't want to spend a lot of money that doesn't work out. You're going to see more IP that's going to be licensed. The Shenmue 3 Kickstarter was just the beginning of that. People,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Konami is now not so much focused on the console market, but I guarantee you they're going to start focusing on licensing out their IP, which is, again, at least then you'll get to potentially work or play the games, the IP that you like, if that creator can go into Kickstarter and raise the money. And then finally, the last thing, which I personally, and I know that Fangamer, especially after you've built a few Kickstarter campaigns, are excited for, is I really hope that there's more Kickstarter models, more crowdfunding models, rather. There was one that was announced recently called Fig, that has a lot of the key big-name people that have successful Kickstarter campaigns. Building a Kickstarter campaign is a pain in the butt. It's got like 1998 Netscape technology or something. I couldn't believe it. You can't have two images side by side. It is the biggest antiquated piece of crap technology ever. And yet it is the most popular brand name out there when it comes to crowdfunding, so it will continue to reign supreme. But I'm very sincerely hoping that there will be more crowdfunding platforms that will focus more to games and certainly more modern technology, because it is really hard to build out a good campaign if you were trying to build it in Netscape.
Even if you really like Netscape. The blink tag doesn't even work. I don't get it. So I'd say we've got a Bloodstained status update and we've got a new image to show off. I'm going to combine those. That's an executive Fangamer decision. So So we got some new art. This time we asked Inti Creates nicely. We gave them more than like an hour and a half to put it together. So Iga and Aizu, would you like to talk a little about this?
Ooh, ちょっとすいません、いろいろキャンペーンのことを語り続けたんですけれども、ちょっといよいよ、今、開発側の話に移りたいと思いますけれども、今映っているイメージとは何でしょうか、伊賀様。
僕からですか。はい、ですね、これもまた夏目さんがですね、夜なべをして書いてくれたものなんですけど、今回今までの作品って着替えてなかったんですけど、今回も着替えはちょっと難しいかなと思っていたんですが、頭のパーツぐらい、頭のアクセサリーぐらい変えられるようにしてあげようかなと思ってまして、で今回の絵がそのまんまゲームになるかっていうと、今回コンセプトアートということで書いてもらったので、いろいろ不都合があったりするので、そういう部分は修正されていきますが、こんな感じでちょっと女の子なんでおしゃれにいろんなパーツをつけられるようにしたいなと思ってます。
Yeah, so the key genesis behind this is a lot of Castlevania fans or Bloodstained fans. Invariably, they want to see different costumes. They want to see different armors, etc., etc. If you've played previous Castlevania games, you know, maybe the cape color will change, etc. But in general, the character model themselves never changes in a major way unless you get the axe armor. But that's a very special thing, obviously. So with this, they thought a lot about it, how they could potentially add in more customization because they know that people wanted it. And they came up with the idea of headgear of sorts. So hats, potential facial pieces that you could add to your character, give Miriam more personality. And Iga says, listen, you know, she may be a badass demon fighter, but she still likes to look good doing it. So this is one way to do that, have these different pieces. So this is a system that they're going to focus on, making sure that you'll be able to customize your character. And I'm going to ask them if it directly affects the gameplay, because I personally like that. I don't know about you guys. 一応パラメータとか、変わったりしますかね、このつけることによって。
装備品なので、当然装備品にパラメータがついてますので、それをつけることによっていろいろ変わります。
So yes, that's the plan. The parameters will change. Some may give you different boosts, which is always nice. And of course, it really does fit the game world. There's always been sort of comedic things that have occurred in Igavania games, and this can be just one of the more interesting pieces of that. ちょっと会津様について、ちょっと語っていただきたいんですけど、どう思いますか。
そうですね、パラメーターは変わらないんですけど、カラーチェンジとあと髪型も一応変わりますので、これは形だけですね。肌のスキンカラーと、髪の毛のカラー、ヘアカラーと、あとは髪の毛の形も変えられます。あとは少し今回は仮で右下の方に、みんなから見て右下の方にガンボルトのキャラクターとちょっと今勝手にコラボレーションしてるんですけど、こういったコラボレーションアイテムみたいなのも、あったら面白いかなと思ってます。
はい。So yeah, additionally, since they're going to create customization, you don't want it to just be things that you can add to your character's head. They're thinking of making the different parts be something you can change the color. It won't directly affect the parameters that way, but you can change the color of these different accessories. And if you look at the character art right here, you'll be able to change Miriam's hair color as well. That'll be something you can play around with. Again, she likes to look good when she's kicking demon butt. The other thing that Aizu-san mentions is that in the lower right-hand corner, if you look at the image there, it borrows some references from Gunvolt. And Gunvolt, of course, is an IP that Inti Creates owns. And since they're going to be working hard on this game, it's always nice to see creators cross-collaborate like this. So you'll be able to get some of that in the game as well. Do we like that? Do we like creators cross-collaborating? ありがとうございます。せっかくですから、ちょっと残月についてもちょっと話していただきたいと思いますけれども、
はい、
軽くお互いにですね。
軽くですね。ですね、もともとその新しいキャラクターで残月というキャラクターをゲームズコムで発表させていただいたんですけれども、キャラクターはですね、もともとはテンプルナイツのような本当は騎士みたいなもっとこうかっこいい 感じの騎士にしようかと思ったんですけど、ちょっと企画のやつと話をしてた時に僕の作ってるタイトルで「日本人出たことないっすよね」って話になって「ないね、じゃあ侍にしようか」って言っていきなりもう侍に「じゃあ侍おっさんの侍にしよう、おっさん枠入れよう」とか言いながら今回作ったキャラクターで、まあキーワードがあった方がいいよねって話があったんで、札で戦うっていうところをまたこう夏目さんパワーを使ってもらったらですね、あそこにベタベタいっぱいお札を貼ってくれたので、これキャラクターで出たなと思ってすごい満足しております。
Yeah, so Zangetsu is the new character that was announced at Gamescom. I don't know if you saw it, but he is a badass samurai character. Initially, it was meant to be a knight, but when they were thinking about different character design, they're like, you know what? We need to have a samurai character. We have not had a samurai character in any Castlevania game up until now, so this needs to happen. Take a look at that character design. He's got Japanese like paper prayers on his prosthetic arm that allow it to do different abilities and whatnot. So there's lots of people that really like that character, and we're very excited in the game with that. I think we are very short on time, so we need to move to the final section, don't we, Dan?
We do. We need to start asking questions. Now, I am going to ask everyone in the audience who asks a question to keep it to tweet length, because it has to be translated and then retranslated. And speaking of tweets, I do have a few from the Bloodstained forums that were asked. So I'm going to start with one of those. I am going to start with one of those. And it is from Lox, and it's, Iga, what is your favorite part of creating a new game? Like in terms of specific, like is it the world building, the characters, what elements?
あまり時間ないので短くっていう感じになりますけれども、ゲームを作る一番好きなところっていうのはどこですか？
はい、このゲームって総合エンターテインメントなので、これがっていうんじゃなくて、そのゲーム性も絵も音楽も全部集まったところがやっぱりその一番楽しいところなので、そこの出来上がりを一番楽しみにしてます。
It's not about separate parts. It's about having the salad, have the crouton, have the tomato, have the dressing, all of that mixed together, the complete package coming together at the same time. That is what's the interesting part from making a game.
Hi, questions for Ben. You and Aizu-san have been here 2 years in a row now. This year with Iga-san, previously with Inafune-san. Who will you be here with next year?
ちょっとベネの質問ですけれども、まあイヌフネさんと一緒にいて、イグさんと今一緒に。Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. Please elaborate.
All right. Thank you, Ben, for unlocking number 4. Ben teases a secret project up top, Ben. All right. And thank you now for unlocking number 9.
He knew what he was
High
asking.
5 in the panel. All right, let's see.
I feel so used.
Yeah. We're gonna save I think the other forum questions for an Ask Iga, which you guys are about to unlock after you manipulate them just a little more. That's the internet treat. But can we go over there for the next question?
Yeah, I know Iga and his hat are both really close, and I was just wondering, is their relationship more parasitic or symbiotic?
Iga and who?
Iga and his hat.
Ted?
Is Ted his hat?
His hat.
ああ、ごめんなさい。すごい母子の話ですけれども、すごい関係性っていうのは寄生虫的な感じなのか、それとも、お互いにその尊敬し合うような感じなのか、どっちですか？
これはですね、来世僕が死んだ後にこれが僕の代わりになりますので、これ大事にしとかなきゃいけないです今。
Apparently, when he dies in the next life, he will be Ted. So he needs to treat Ted with respect because this will be Iga next time you see him. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
That's almost a good answer. And it raises the question, what is a hat? All right, so where are we going next? Over there.
Yes.
So this question is for Lord Iga, because only Lord Iga could answer this question, and I'm sure all of us here would like to know, what is a man?
男とは何ですか？
それさ難しいんだよね難しいんだよね。なんかパイルオブシークレッツとか言ってたね
He said, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I don't know. I think it's something like a pile of secrets.
And I'll tell you, the judges are going to give that one to him. Boy, really, our hats off to Iga for that enlightening answer. I hope we've got time for at least one more question. We don't. All right, so, hey.
Objection. All
Maybe-
right, we got the official no to another question, but I think we have time to watch Iga whip it. Do we want to see Iga whip it? 向こうでちょっとムチを振ってみてくださいね。
それあれでしょ
はい、そこで。はい。All right. If you have cameras, how often do you get to see a big Japanese dude whip in front of you? Feel free to whip it.
ここでいいですか
All right. Does he need like a 3 count or? Oh, no, he doesn't.
Iga. One more. That was practice. Oh!
All right, well, thank you so much, everybody, and congratulations on earning your partisan patches. I believe you will pick them up on your way out.
Free
Yeah.
stuff!
Yeah.
Get your free stuff!
Please enjoy your free stuff and come see Iga. Where can you go see Iga? The West End, right?
That's right, the West End for a free signing from 7:30 to 9:30 tonight.